Hello, my creative souls. How are you? My name is Chloe. For those that don't know, I'm a creative healer, and I'm the owner of Ray of Gratitude, giving you peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. And I do know that's you that's watching this right now. Um, I just created my card deck, y'all, which I'll be using. I use these card decks for myself as well as to um, these cards participate in a soul care reading. So if you'd like a soul care reading, you can definitely check out the links below. Um, but soul care readings help you tap into your soul, tap into the energy that you hold within you, so you can actually align what's going on as within, so without, right? So, and it also pairs with a chakra healing session too. So if you ever got a chakra healing session, you'd be able to get a soul care reading. But check out my links below. Check out ways that you can actually work with me. I do have an actual program where I have multiple sessions, and then I also have the one-off sessions as well. So without any further ado, let's just get into this reading, y'all. So right now, as I'm recording this, we are in the energy of the Scorpio full moon. And the Scorpio full moon represents a lot of deep desires. It represents a lot of emotions. And it represents a lot of occult and spiritual energy as well. I know there's a few more things that Scorpio energy represents, but it's also the eclipse. So a lot of this is going to be highlighted within your energy, surrounding your energy. It really kind of depends if you really want to get technical, like looking into your birth charts and whatnot. But it's going to affect us in many ways, and it may be emotional just because it's a water sign. So let's see what this general message has to say to anyone that is ready to see what a soul care reading is, or just really see if they can get some soul vibes and resonance to their soul to allow them to grow, heal, and move forward wherever they're at in their life. All right, let's get into it, y'all. All right, let's get into this. All right, my spirit crew, let's see what is the overall energy that we're tapping into right now as a collective? Which chakras need to be aware of? And I'm going to tap into this goddess energy too. I would love for like guys to watch this, but I'm pretty sure majority of my followers, if not all my followers, are women. So regardless, we're going to tap into this energy too. So, actually, let's start with the goddess energy, okay? What is the archetype right now that we're dealing with for the viewers? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, wow. Very powerful. Wow. That kind of makes sense, though, in a way. Because, like, Scorpios sometimes remind me of, like, this quiet storm in a way. Like, they do remind me of stormy and darkness. And look at this, is number 13. Let's read about Oya, because I do know Oya is a goddess of wind, and she's goddess of transformation. She's very similar to the goddess Kali in, is it Hinduism or Buddhism? I'm not 100% sure, but I do know it's like Indian culture, and gods and deities that are very synonymous to her energy and transformation. Storms represent transformation. They're energizing. There is a whirlwind. It's cloudy, confusion, chaos, right? But within that chaos, a lot of creativity can be formed. A lot of out with the old, in with the new type of energy comes into play. So let me grab the book, because this is a little bit new, but I did read a little bit from this. You know what I'm looking at too, though? Like, this has like so much blue in this, and I don't know about y'all, but like I was hearing from a lot of different people how their throats were being irritated on the solar eclipse. And I thought that was interesting because Taurus rules the throat, and we're in Taurus season. And since throat chakra, being authentic, connecting with your authentic expressions, communicating how you really truly feel, if it's not to other people, it's with yourself. So, let's just dig a little bit more about Oya. Okay, so Oya, she comes from Yoruba goddess of the storms. It says wielding her power sword of truth. Like I was saying, throat chakra, and I see why they made her blue. Oya is the Yoruba goddess of storm, wind, and lightning. Storms bring shift, rapid, and uncontrollably change. So you know what this is giving me too? The tower moment. Like is what it reminds me of, the tower. Oya's guidance is the wind of change or emotion. Into every life, a little rain must fall. Personal storms clear away the old. Exactly what I was saying. Sometimes change moves slowly. At other times, change is swift. So, ways to embody it. And what I want to say embody, like there's one thing when you can embrace something and accept something and hold something, valuable, or just hold on to something that you just can't shake, right? But it's another thing when you actually embody it, like personify it, really integrate it within your body and just be like, boom, like I'm this actress. You know how like people be like, oh, I channeled this person. I couldn't stand when they were talking. For some reason, like, those gossip channels, they kept saying like, so and so on the tabloids channeled somebody that was like an old, um, I'm not even gonna bring that energy in because I don't even know. Anyway, moving forward, if you know, you can definitely comment below. But I don't even know. I just don't really like when people say that. But anyway, what would you like to change, y'all? Like, what would you like to change? And again, we're in eclipse season, so eclipses bring change. Eclipses usually in astrology, from to my knowledge, I'm not 100% sure, but to my knowledge, eclipses are when the north and the south node um actually are in a certain sign, and they line up with the moon and the sun, sign. And the nodes are all about direction. The south node is about the past, and the north node is about where you need to go, like your destiny. You know what I mean? Like this is your road. This is what your north star is, what I like to call, because it's something that you have to follow. Well, you don't have to, but it's something that you should follow, because it's almost like a culminating events that your soul picked out just for you, that was destined if you decide to take that path. But a lot of times when we're not aligned with our soul, we can go off astray, and possibly may not even ever do that, But it's very liberating for sure. I'm just going to read the bottom here. Beating yourself up is self-harm. Whether it's words, whether it's physically, feel your feelings, honor your journey, tell yourself the truth, and practice self-compassion. Compassion is a form of the heart, it's a form of self-love, and it's a form of that nourishment, It's not a form of judgment. It's a form of nourishment. So let's get into this. And since it is Scorpio season, I decided to bring my starseed deck out. I hardly do. I hardly talk about star seeds because honestly, I'm just gonna give it to y'all 100. I just kind of feel like it's so much that can go into talking about star seeds. I'd rather just save my breath, and I feel like I don't know enough information to like really feel confident to talk about it. So I just kind of like, my star seeds out there. Hey y'all, but whatever, we'll get into this. So let's see what affirmation and chakra wants to come through for this full moon here. Oh, this is a little block, so let's do another one. Okay, so we got the heart chakra and the root chakra. So I'm going to make a video that's going to be coming soon to talk more about these cards, but these cards actually, whichever way they fall, it can fall face up on the shadow side, or it can fall face up on the light side, where you're embodying and when you're expressing and when you're chanting and believing in your I am presence. And sincerely, like this, I kind of feel like it's iffy, like it needs more balance. This is a heart chakra, which it is greenish energy. This isn't enough. I'm not enough, and I need more. And then we have the light energies. I seek abundance of self-love. So, for plenty of you in this collective, we're going to be tapping into the spaces of the heart. There's going to be a lot of purging and cleansing of the heart. I'm telling y'all, to bring authenticity. The heart to me is the main center. It's like the customer service center in a store to me. Like, it tells you where things are, where to go, and it tells you like, hey, no, we don't have any more of that in there. Like, it holds space, the meeting grounds of things. It's also reminding me of this is funny. Sidebar, y'all. When I was younger, like, my mom used to just be in the stores for so long, and I didn't like being in the stores that long. So I just would wander off in like the clothing racks and this and that. And sometimes I would get lost. Like, a few times I got lost, y'all. But my mom told me, she said, if I ever get lost, go to the customer service and tell them her name. And it's reminding me of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, go to your heart center. If you ever feel lost, go to your heart center and say your name. Say your name and feel in your body of how you feel. Say your whole name. And then also say, I am here. I am here and I love you. And feel that energy of vibration just radiating from the center. Because that heart center, if your heart is blocked, the throat chakra, the authenticity, from the crown, from the third eye into the throat chakra, there's that divine energy from above can't really work its way through down into the physical form, which we have here too. This root chakra. This is the root chakra energy. And it says, I feel uncomfortable with how I naturally look. Yeah, I get it. The light one is, I feel deeply connected and rooted to my family lineage. This is reminding me of big Pluto vibes. Pluto is a very slow moving sign in astrology, but it also represents ancestors. It also represents transformation. And it's also a sign that represents Scorpio energy. So could be a lot of self-love is coming up. A lot of self-love is coming up. Because if you think about it too, Taurus is about sensuality and loving self and, also working. But like on the more like goddess vibes of Taurus, it's really about feeling central and like Mother Earth, when Taurus moves in, I'm pretty sure they made this like this. We had Earth Day, right? Earth Day is right around when when the sign of Taurus enters into that energy. And when we're not grounded and connected within our body, as well as with this earth, this soil, this grass, the energy of where we live, on a natural base of nature, we can't really receive the nourishment. It's kind of like nature versus nurture type of thing. Let's see. What does the star seed want to say? As above, so below, right? So let's see. It says, forge, not follow. Pave a new path. Be a leader you wish you had. Wow, this is deep, y'all. Like, if this is a collective energy, and just like, look at this. It's like kind of reminding me of like New Earth almost. And like she's below like Scorpio, and like she's like coming through. This is interesting. This is reminding me of the subconscious, which Scorpio energy also has vibes of, because it's like we want to bring that. I don't really like monkey mind, but we need to bring like our emotions tell us how we feel. I'm going to say it again. Our emotions tell us how we feel. Our emotions is energy moving through us that is telling a story, and it's coming from our subconscious. And a lot of times we don't understand that because it's subconscious. It's not really conscious. It's not to the front of the brain, or it's not, I'm not quite sure what section and all that, but it's not like to the front. And if you think about it, like this, for instance, if you just think of the ocean, right? The ocean is so deep, like it's very dark. I think there's parts of the ocean that people don't even know how deep it is, right? And um, it's so deep that light can't get there, you know? So when it rises to the surface of the ocean, the light is able to touch that. And that's the same thing for us consciously. Like if you're resonating with what I'm saying right now, like light bulbs are like ding, 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 like type of thing. Because it's coming to the surface. It's triggering something with energy in motion. And just like lightning, right? It can be lightning fast, right? Or maybe the clouds are in the way, absorbing the light. So it really depends here. I'm going to move this over like this. All right, y'all. And then like this. This is beautiful. Like, I can, if this is what this is doing for us as a collective, God bless. Like, for real, for real. God bless. So let's talk a little bit deeper and get a little bit more personal with you all, right? Let's just see what's going on internally and externally. All right. So let me see some more chakras come. Ooh, all right. Wow, there's a lot. Like whoever's watching this, y'all are anxious, and I love it. Wow, this is a lot of self-worth. Oh my gosh. Because it's so interesting. I just came from like this group coaching thing. And it was an event. And a lot of people were talking. Even me. Like, you know, I'm not here to front or shame. But a lot of us were talking about like self-worth. Like how our values weren't meeting what we really wanted to do. And like we were uncovering like a lot of things that were just not really standing in our truth and trying to figure out what really is blocking us as a whole. But sometimes it's too subconscious or unconscious for us to really be aware of. And I was telling somebody that, clarify this, yeah. I was telling somebody that, you know, they ask like, oh, well, how I want to know more about my subconscious and like blocks and things like that. And I'm like, well, sometimes you can figure it out through the patterns that if you become aware of who you are and what you're doing. You can see it through your own patterns and, you know, really through your own patterns and habits. But it comes to a point where you see that and you become aware and you're like, I want to know more. And you try to ask and you just can't get through because it's just some big block. You know, usually to me, I like to talk about chakras. So it's usually a block that is in your upper chakras, the crown chakra for sure. And, the third eye and the throat chakra, right? Oh, wow. Yes, and they were just talking about this, so I'm going to leave that right here. And, you know, it's always, this is why, one main thing here, like, why are we all on earth, right? Because we have these relationships. And to get deeper, we have these soul relationships that we have no idea, right, is happening on a soul level, but we are connecting so we can learn some of these things. And one, we're not the only person on earth. And two, like, let's engage, let's communicate, let's express, let's create. You know, let me go into this reading a tad bit more, y'all. So internally, a lot of us, wow, there's a lot of, I didn't know that this is, okay. So look, y'all. On the outside, the things that you're aware of or just physically is going on here, that it's like a lot of people are starting to connect with their soul. A lot of people are starting to become aware of like, hey, oh my God, like I can talk to or connect with my guardian angel, you know, or my ancestors, or just like really digging into a lot of spiritual things. I was going to say spirituality. To actually step into a place of self-worth, you know, to really step into doing the work and say, I do want to know myself. Like, I really do love myself, but it just seems like when something goes wrong, it's like, F all of this and you're back at square one. And that's that subconscious. That's that, old habit that dies hard, you know, that you've been doing so much, you have no idea. And your mind is such a trickster. It's such a trickster. Because you could still be aware of so many things, right? But it's such a trickster because the triggers that enlighten the fear can really keep people stuck. And sometimes people are like, get rid of the fear, get rid of the fear. Someone told me that you can't really get rid of the fear, but you can definitely change or get progress, right? A different way of reacting to the fear. Because that's what fear does. It's a reaction, you know? You can be afraid of the lightning bolt or you can embody it. If you're not human, you probably can't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of self-worth, sometimes, you know, I feel that unconsciously we don't really, self-worth has to do a lot with a lot of like things that happened when we were younger. And if we're older and we're an adult, like let's just even say if you're like over 22, you can't really remember what happened when you were 3 or 4 or 5, you know? And how you absorb that energy at 5 is totally different perspective. But like it's still, that energy is still there, hiding in the dark until you become aware of that. Um, and I want to say when things are supercharged, that's where it's like, oh my gosh, I don't remember the emotions, right? Because it's supercharged. It's a certain energy. When it's really charged, you feel something, but sometimes you don't understand why, you know, and that's the subconscious working. But we have here the enlightenment. And I really feel like there's this silence here. If we can really meditate and get silence, our mind, right, we can kind of shift in. This is what meditation does. It can kind of silence the emotions and thoughts racing, right? And then allow you to shift into different parts of your mind to really receive the knowledge, you know, or enlightenment that you need to know. You know, it can happen that way. And it looks like a lot of us, with these self-worth, like I'm hearing shame in a way, because sometimes this shame are like these opinions of other people that think that they can tell you what is best for you, or think that they can tell you like, hey, your desires or your dreams don't mean crap, or even tell you like, oh, your desires are bad. And desires and emotions live in the not solar, sacral plexus, right? And then enlightenment, I always found this interesting that enlightenment is yellow, which is the solar plexus. But I feel that it's yellow because it's like you're seeking, you know, you're taking action, you're finding a path. And sometimes when the door seems closed to get to the other place, there's a deep need for us to silence the mind, and silence ourselves just to feel into, just like she's doing, maybe outside in the grass, you know, feel into something so we can really just understand and hear that inner voice. Because what's going on here, we're trying to find this balance between wisdom, right? And just this acknowledgement. And again, we have solitude, right? This has grief here. And it's reminding me too of like, whoever is watching this and really resonating with this is, I really feel like you've been doing a lot of work on your heart, you know? And I don't think that grief has a big hold on you anymore, because I'm looking like she's smiling, you know? And you're at this place because you were able to love yourself enough and set certain boundaries to really tap in and really give yourself grace and really focus, super focus on yourself, so you can fill that cup and fill your heart again with good vibes, good memories, you know? And hear your inner voice, because your inner voice, your intuition always knows best. But a lot of times it doesn't make sense, and we're like, I don't get what's going on, so I'm going to do this. And then it's like, oh, maybe I should have listened, you know? Maybe I should have listened. And a lot of times we can't control things that happen. We can't. A lot of times we can't. When it comes to grief, let me just get a drink of water. When it comes to grief, right? We can grieve a lot of different things. Grief usually is associated with death, which again, like I'm saying, we can't control, right? But sometimes it's like figuratively, like death of a friendship or some other type of relationship, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Death of a job, you know, like that you really, really desired, but it didn't work out, and you're trying to figure out why, right? But at the same time, maybe it was because you did what you had to do, and it's time to move to a different path so you can connect with what you need to do. That's that transformation, you know. We don't really always know what time things come to an end. You know, if you're really in tune with yourself, you probably do. But others, a lot of times we don't. And if you're really tapped in, we can do that. And if we're really tapped into the wisdom that we hold, because we all have some type of wisdom here. And if you feel like you don't have any wisdom, if you're around some elders, you'll find some type of wisdom here. And there's a need to find that balance. Like, this is the crown chakra, and it's like, hey, allowing that flow in. Like, look at her. This is reminding me of Aura. This is not the story that goes with this, but I'm just going to go off of the intuition here. There's a lot of things floating and flowing around, right? And there's a need for you to clear your aura and align yourself with the values, with your beliefs, right? Your desires, and with no judgment about them. Because I just learned something new. There was a saying that someone said today. When you judge your own values, it causes chaos in your life, right? Which is imbalance. But when you can balance and really own the fact of like, yes, I do desire this and I do want to work on this, things will start aligning if you really believe in yourself. Going back to the self-worth. And I'll tell you one more thing that I learned today. I had a lot of stuff that I learned today. Everybody sings a song. And this is not my quote, but someone said we're all notes in a symphony. Why can't I say that? Symphony. We are all music notes in a symphony. And I thought that was really nice that she said that, because, you know, like, that's where the harmony comes into place. Each note is very important. But when it's, you know, when it stands alone, it sounds beautiful. But when it comes together, it creates something different, but it's even more beautiful. And it's like, it flows, it's harmony, it's balanced, right? And I'm really feeling that the soul is really asking for us to really look, you know, and if we can't find it, really feel guided to someone that can help you find it, someone that can shine that light, someone that can spark it within yourself, you know, almost like that friction when you're dragging your feet on the rug and then you shock somebody. This is very beautiful. Very beautiful. Let's see what herself has to say. Any advice for the viewers that are you know, taking in this full moon energy right now? You are doing the best that you can. You know, a lot of times when you can state this and really accept this, it relieves you from beating yourself up, you know, and judging yourself so harshly that, you know, you can't go anywhere. Because a lot of times, y'all, a lot of people don't want to admit this, but we do a lot of things to ourselves that hold us back and block us, you know. Things are working behind the scenes in your favor. And when I have this here, it's a lot of spiritual things, a lot of energies moving through and around, and spirit guides and all that stuff if you believe in it, right? And let's just talk about God, you know. whatever you want to call that name, it's moving and doing and setting up things for you in the way that can help you move seamlessly, right? But you have to create that energy. You have to create that energy within yourself so you can actually emit that and allow the universe to be like, oh, okay, I think I see her doing that. So let me just get right quick with it. You know what I mean? Just like Storm. Storm conjures up that energy and gets ready to do what it does. And it doesn't miss. It does not miss. Believe it. Wow. Believe that. And it's okay to not be okay. You know, being emotional does not always feel good. Because it's a lot of times it's moving through your body and you're like, what is going on here? Like, I don't like how this feels. And, you know, when we cry, many times we cry from a place of sadness or sorrow or something instead of being elated and joyful crying. If you've ever cried because you're really happy, that feels even weirder, honestly. It does. But it's like you feel your body doing what it is and you're like, what is going on, right? But when you really just ask yourself that and like continue to feel it instead of blocking it or constricting it, then you start realizing you do know what's going on and you do know that things are going to get better. And you do know it's just trying to pass through your body. Just like, I don't know why I want to keep saying this, but like a lightning rod, like if you are standing on the ground, like the earth, there is a small chance that you may live because that energy will go through you into the ground. But like if you're like on some other type of material that's like probably like man-made or something, like it's not going to pass through. So on the back it says take deep breaths. Thank you. If you've sat here with me this whole reading, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. May you be able to sing your song and be brave enough to do that, you know, literally or figuratively. And allow yourself to really sit with yourself enough to tell yourself, you know, say those mantras, those affirmations enough to say, I release this stuff that is holding me back and I'm ready. I believe that I can make something happen. Because so many of us have been sitting on these ideas that haven't really been able to birth through and, you know, or connect with the right people. But sometimes we can't connect with the right people because our energy or our frequency is kind of like, well, I guess she wants to stay over here, you know, and you got to just raise your vibes and the energy doesn't lie. So I really hope that you are listening to yourself, taking some time to self-reflect. And again, if you, you know, maybe I'm that person that can help you shine that light. You can take a quick look at the links below. I have one-on-one sessions, and I also have a one-on-one program that I've created to really help you tune in and help you with consistency and accountability and give you that support through this journey, through this healing, that can help you meet these goals that you're really trying to take. Because it doesn't mean that you're weak because you need somebody. It just means that you actually are aware of what you need and you're ready. You know, you're ready to do the work. And I love working with people like that. All right. So if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Check out for more videos like so. I got some shorts in the building, just short little clips that can help you just, you know, I know this is long. That's why I'm saying if y'all are troopers and y'all loving the vibe, thank you, thank you, thank you. As always, comment, share, express how you feel in the comments. And I'm going to get out of here and take my self-reflection right now. Until next time, y'all, I'm outie. Peace.